Welcome to Movie Time. Today, we're excited to bring you our selection of the top 10 best movies currently streaming on Netflix. These films will keep you hooked from start to finish, delivering non-stop thrills, intense moments, and heart-pounding scenes that won't let you look away for even a second. If you enjoy these movie summaries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with your movie-loving friends. Stay tuned until the very end and let us know your favorite film in the comments below. Number 10. The Big Four. The Big Four is a martial arts action comedy that follows Dina, a disciplined and idealistic police officer who discovers shocking secrets about her late father, Petrus. Believing he was an honest law enforcer, Dina learns that he actually led a group of elite assassins known as the Big Four. This team operated outside the law to take down dangerous criminals and protect the innocent. After Petrus's mysterious murder, Dina's search for justice leads her to the remote tropical island of Bercy, where her father's former protégés have been living in hiding. Initially, Dina despises them for their violent methods, but as she digs deeper, she realizes they shared her father's sense of justice. Meanwhile, a ruthless villain from their past, Antonio Sandoval, resurfaces, seeking revenge for his brother's death and determined to wipe out Petrus's legacy. The group is forced out of retirement when Sandoval's mercenaries attack the island. Blending action, humor, and heart, The Big Four is both a wild adventure and a story about family, loyalty, and redemption. Number 9. The Kissing Booth.
Nobody can know.
The Kissing Booth is a teen romantic comedy that follows Elle Evans, a cheerful and spirited high school student who has always shared a special bond with her lifelong best friend, Lee Flynn. From childhood, Elle and Lee have done everything together and live by a list of friendship rules designed to keep their relationship strong and drama-free. However, as they grow older, high school life begins to challenge those rules in unexpected ways. When the time comes for their school's annual spring carnival, Elle and Lee decide to run a kissing booth as part of the festivities. What starts as a fun project quickly becomes a turning point in Elle's life when her booth unexpectedly connects her to someone she never imagined getting close to. Suddenly, Elle finds herself navigating new emotions, confusing situations, and the complicated boundaries between friendship and romance. As the story unfolds, Elle must balance her loyalty to Lee with her growing feelings for someone who could change everything. Number 8. Fear Street, Part 1, 1994. It is a slasher horror mystery set in the seemingly ordinary town of Shadyside, Ohio, where darkness lingers beneath the surface. For decades, the community has been plagued by gruesome killings, earning it the reputation of being the murder capital of the United States. Across town lies Sunnyvale, a perfect crime-free suburb that seems untouched by tragedy. The stark contrast between the two towns fuels a deep rivalry among their residents. The story follows Dina, a strong-willed teenager struggling with heartbreak after her friend moves to Sunnyvale. When a shocking act of violence shakes the town, Dina and their friends find themselves caught in the middle of something far more sinister than they could have imagined. Strange and terrifying events begin to unfold, suggesting that the new wave of violence may be connected to the town's disturbing history. The film blends the nostalgic style of classic 1990s slashers with modern horror energy, featuring fast-paced suspense, sharp dialogue, and a chilling atmosphere. Number 7. The Babysitter.
Things get messy when you make a deal with the devil.
The Babysitter is a stylish horror comedy that follows 12-year-old Cole, a timid boy who struggles with bullies at school and overprotective parents at home. His only real source of confidence and comfort is his babysitter, Bee, an older, charismatic girl who seems to genuinely care about him. When Cole's parents head out of town for the weekend, Bee comes over to watch him. The night starts out perfectly. They play games, talk about movies, and share jokes, showing the close and affectionate bond between them. However, after Bee sends Cole to bed, his friend Melanie dares him to stay up late and find out what his babysitter does when he's asleep. Curious Cole decides to sneak downstairs and take a look. What he discovers changes everything he thought he knew about Bee. His once safe home becomes the setting for a night of chaos, fear, and shocking revelations. Cole suddenly finds himself caught in a dangerous situation that forces him to confront his deepest fears and rely on his wits to survive. Number 6. The Guilty.
There is a scared little girl.
The Guilty is a tense, character-driven thriller that unfolds almost entirely in a 911 dispatch center in Los Angeles. The film follows Joe Baylor, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, a disgraced former police detective who has been demoted to working as an emergency dispatcher after a past incident that ended his policing career. Over the course of one night, Joe receives a distressing call from Emily, a woman who claims to have been abducted by a man in a car. As Joe attempts to help Emily, the film reveals the limitations and challenges of his new role. Unable to visit the crime scene, Joe must rely solely on phone conversations, his instincts, and his understanding of criminal behavior. He becomes increasingly frantic and obsessed with finding Emily, piecing together clues from her fragmented statements. Number 5. The Call. The Call is a suspenseful thriller that follows Seo Yeon, a woman who returns to her childhood home after many years. While exploring the old house, she discovers a mysterious landline phone that connects her to a woman named Young-suk, living in the same house but 20 years earlier. What starts as a strange curiosity quickly becomes an intense and suspenseful connection as the two women begin communicating across time. Initially, they share their stories and struggles, forming a fragile bond despite the gap of 2 decades. However, the unusual connection soon leads to increasingly tense and unpredictable situations. Each conversation across the line starts to affect both women in ways they could never have anticipated. Their growing interaction creates a chain of events that intertwines their lives, forcing them to confront the choices, regrets, and secrets they've long carried. Number 4. What Happened to Monday?
What's your name?
Karen Sedman.
Karen, do you have any siblings?
No.
It is a dystopian science fiction thriller set in a near future where overpopulation has led to severe food shortages and government-enforced population control. To manage the crisis, the world adopts a strict one-child policy regulated by the powerful Child Allocation Bureau, an organization that ensures every family adheres to the law. In this world, identical septuplet sisters are born, a direct violation of the population policy. Their grandfather decides to raise them in secret. To protect them from discovery, he creates a single shared identity for all 7 sisters. Each sister is allowed to leave their hidden apartment only on the day of the week that matches her name, Monday through Sunday, while the others remain inside. However, their fragile balance shatters when one sister fails to return home after her designated day outside. The remaining siblings are thrown into chaos as they struggle to uncover what happened to her and protect their shared secret from collapsing. Number 3. The Devil All the Time. The Devil All the Time is a dark, multi-generational tale set in rural Ohio and West Virginia from the 1940s to the 1960s, exploring the cycles of violence, faith, and trauma that haunt its characters. The story begins with Willard Russell, a deeply religious man whose wife dies giving birth. Consumed by grief, he attempts to pray her back to life, believing he is fulfilling God's will, which sets the tone for the film's exploration of fanaticism and moral ambiguity. Willard's son, Arvin Russell, grows up in this environment, witnessing both his father's obsessive faith and the brutal murder of his mother. Orphaned and hardened, Arvin struggles to survive in a world filled with cruelty and corruption. His journey is interwoven with the lives of other residents, including a devout preacher, a troubled couple, and various members of the local community. Each character wrestles with personal struggles, ethical dilemmas, and the consequences of their choices, creating a tapestry of interlinked stories that reveal both the darkness and resilience of human nature. Number 2. Bird Box. Bird Box is a tense post-apocalyptic thriller set in a world where mysterious forces have caused society to collapse. The story centers on Mallory, played by Sandra Bullock, a woman forced to survive under unimaginable conditions when an unseen presence drives anyone who looks at it to deadly madness. The film opens with Mallory attempting a perilous journey down a river with 2 small children, all of them blindfolded. The reason for this extreme measure is soon revealed through a series of flashbacks that trace the story back to the beginning of the global disaster. What begins as strange reports of mass suicides quickly escalates into worldwide chaos. As panic spreads, she takes refuge with a small group of survivors in a secluded house. Together, they struggle to adapt to a new reality where simply looking outside can mean death. Inside the house, tensions rise as fear, isolation, and mistrust take hold. Each person reacts differently to the crisis, and their fragile sense of safety begins to unravel. Number 1. All Quiet on the Western Front. It is a powerful World War I drama that follows the journey of Paul Bäumer, a young German student who enlists in the army with his friends, full of patriotic enthusiasm and youthful excitement. Encouraged by national pride and the promise of adventure, they head to the Western Front expecting glory and honor. Upon arrival, Paul and his comrades are confronted with the grim reality of trench warfare. The battlefield is nothing like the heroic image they imagined. It is a landscape of mud, fear, and unrelenting violence. Through these harsh conditions, Paul forms close bonds with his fellow soldiers, especially with the seasoned and resourceful Kaczynski, who becomes both a mentor and a symbol of resilience. As time passes, the group struggles to survive amid hunger, exhaustion, and the constant threat of attack. Their youthful idealism slowly gives way to despair and disillusionment as they realize the true nature of the war they are fighting, a conflict that offers no glory, only suffering and loss. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of this video. If you enjoyed what you watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future content. Feel free to leave a comment down below, share your thoughts, or suggest topics you'd like to see in upcoming videos.